Warning, warning, if you are in the Southern California area and you are a video game collector, do not go video game hunting this weekend. And I say that semi-jokingly. It's the Y2K collector. The reason why I'm saying that is because for those of you who don't know, this weekend is the SoCal Retro Gaming Expo. And so there are resellers and collectors from all over the country, if not all over the world, who have descended upon Southern California, Pasadena in particular, to buy, sell, and trade video games. And it's a very fun event. A lot of camaraderie, a lot of YouTube video making, all that jazz is happening right now as we speak, because the convention is literally happening at the time that I'm making this video. But if you're someone who likes to go out in the field and hunt, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult than usual this weekend, because what I know a lot of, collectors, resellers, like to do is, outside of just going to the convention, they typically like to hit up the surrounding retro game stores, Game Stops, pawn shops, you name it. They're gonna try to maximize their opportunity, and I don't blame them. Southern California is a great place to retro game hunt. I've learned that over the last 4 to 5 months. And so there's going to be a lot of folks who are going to be out there trying to see what other things they can find outside of the convention, because sometimes convention pricing can be a little high. It could be a little exaggerated. And if you can go to, if you're coming to Southern California from a state that maybe has your closest GameStop is maybe 60 miles away, well, now you're in an area where there's maybe 5 to 10 GameStops within, a 30-mile radius. So it'd be a good opportunity for you to go and hit up those places. But for those of us who live here, for those of us, I don't want to say that I'm from here yet, because I'm still from the East Coast, but if you live down here, these are stores that you're going to have access to well after this weekend is over. So if you can hold out, I would say probably avoid game hunting this weekend. You're just going to run into a lot of competition. There's going to be a lot of people. It's just going to be a lot going on. So what you can do in place of actually going out is you can actually get your games online. You can do some online hunting, and online hunting has been great for me. So I'm actually going to show you some of the games that have come in over the past 2 to 3 days. These are games that I ordered during the buy two get one week, and so there were so many orders that stuff is just still trickling in, because not all the games that you order from the website come from the warehouse. Sometimes they're being shipped from different stores. So I'll go over all of those with you now, and then just give you some thoughts at the end. So first up, we have this loose Sonic and Knuckles cart for the Sega Genesis. I actually had this complete in box, but it's cool to get this back. I actually have a loose Sonic 3, so this will be pretty interesting to play. Glad to get that back. We have Earthworm Jim. This is one that I think most of you have seen already. I think I had this in a different video that I did, but this was a very clean copy of Earthworm Jim that came in. So glad to add that one in. A lot of really cool cartridge stuff. We had Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time. So this one came in this week. So this is a really cool pickup. We also had Dragon Ball GT Transformation. This is a very interesting Dragon Ball game. I know a lot of those Dragon Ball games I feel like a lot of those Dragon Ball games have like a top-down type of feel to them. I know some of them are more turn-based, but this is actually like a side-scrolling beat-em-up Dragon Ball game. And I'm a huge fan of the side-scrolling beat-em-up Dragon Ball games. That's why I'm a big fan of Dragon Ball Adventure on the Game Boy Advance. The other ones like Boo's Fury, Boo's Fury 2, Goku of Legacy, Goku of Legacy 2, all those games are pretty cool, but I'm more of a beat 'em up guy. So this one was actually really cool to actually add into the collection. There is another beat 'em up that I really want to get my hands on for the Game Boy Advance. It's a One Piece game, which is shockingly expensive. I would not have thought that One Piece games are that expensive. I can't remember what it is. If you know which One Piece game I'm talking about on the Game Boy Advance, you can leave the comment down below. But that is one that I'm also trying to add in. Eventually, I'll find a clean copy. I almost got a copy of it, but it was really beat up. All right, so we have another handheld game here. So Wario Land 3 for the Game Boy Color. This is way cleaner than my original copy of Wario Land 3. I always like to have the Wario Land games in my collection. just a huge fan of those games. I remember back when I had an original Game Boy, I had Super Mario Land, I had Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins, and then I had Super Mario Land 3, which is actually Wario Land. So you have that one, and then you have Wario Land 2, and then eventually they put Wario Land 3 on the Game Boy Color. So really, really cool to add to the collection there as well. We have some other pretty interesting stuff. We've got another handheld here. So Looney Tunes, another Game Boy Color game. This is a very good side scroller on the Game Boy Color. Do not sleep on this. This is a Sunsoft game. Sunsoft is really good with those side scrollers. I gotta admit, like Sunsoft in my opinion has always been like one tier below Konami when it comes to those side scrollers, but they're really good. They're like up there, man. They're like Sunsoft is almost up there with like Capcom and Konami. And whenever I see Sunsoft, I'm usually pretty excited. They have some decent Batman games, and so this Looney Tunes game is actually a very fun platformer. I played a little bit of it. This one is a good time. We have this one here. So got a clean copy of Dick Tracy here. Very, very clean. This was one that I sourced at an actual game store, but this one is actually really clean. Was glad to add this one to the collection. Super nostalgic for me. Grew up watching my brother play Dick Tracy on the Sega Genesis, and we had this game for a really long time. This was not in my original collection, so this is the first time I'm actually having this game in the collection, and it is in great shape. So glad to add this one there. Got a PS3 pickup here. We got the Sly collection. I am slowly building back up my PS3 collection. I really only buy PS3 games when they are on sale or when there's some type of promotion. I do not buy just straight up PS3 games just because that is, while I did appreciate my PS3 collection when I had it, it wasn't like my focal point. And so this is probably like the slowest part of my collection that's growing for sure. But I did see this was available during the buy two get one, and went ahead and snagged it. Very clean copy. Was glad to add this one. Anytime I could get my hands on an original Xbox game, I'm gonna do it. And even though this is probably considered to be one of the worst Superman games of all time, I saw this and I did want to go ahead and grab it, so I was glad that I added this one. It's an interesting take on Superman, and I do like the open world flight in this game. I think it looks very good. Graphically, I think it looks pretty good for a Xbox game, at least, you know, when it comes to like the scenery and stuff like that. So, and I think that cover is just a really cool looking cover too. So again, this is an Xbox exclusive. Wanted to add it. They had this for like a couple bucks, not too expensive, so went ahead and added that there. This was another one that came in during the buy two get one promo, complete. The Superman is also complete as well. Anything that's like anything disc based is complete. But Shadow the Hedgehog for the Xbox, I needed to buy this because I bought this in a 3-game bundle, I believe with Azura's Wrath and Legend of Zelda 4 Swords. So I try to buy games that are in the similar price range, and I think all those games were between like 45 and 50 bucks. Almost all of them came complete too, which was really sick. So this Shadow is actually complete, in really good shape. The Azura's Wrath I got for the PS3 was complete and in very good shape. And then Legend of Zelda 4 Swords that I got was really good shape. It just wasn't complete. It had everything but the manual. I mean, it had all the Legend of Zelda inserts, all that stuff. It just didn't have the manual, which when I saw that, I was like, someone took this manual. Like someone at the store took this manual out, because there's no way that it's gonna have like all these other things and just randomly not have the manual. But anyway, I'm digressing. Shadow the Hedgehog came in as, it took a while for this piece of the order to come in, but it did come in. And this is just an interesting one to have on the Xbox. I don't know why the Xbox version of Shadow the Hedgehog is more expensive than the PS2 version. I don't know if it's because of the graphics or what, but this is an interesting one to have on the Xbox as well. And then the last pickup that I was the most stoked to get is this clean copy of Ninja Shadow on the original Game Boy. Now, I had serious doubts when I ordered this from GameStop's website. I was like, this is not gonna come complete. It's gonna be fake, or they were gonna send me some kind of like PAL version of the game. I was like, this is not gonna be good. I always have very low expectations when I order games that I really want from the website. Thankfully, they did send me an authentic, relatively clean copy. I did have to put some legwork into cleaning this up. It had a big old sticker right here. that looked like someone tried to tear off and they weren't successful. So I had to get that sticker off, I had to get the residue off. And then there was like a bunch of sticker residue like right along here. And I had to get the residue off without destroying the label at the same time. So I think I did a decent job of getting the residue off and gone. And now I have a very clean copy of Ninja Shadow for the original Game Boy. This is a very fun game. In terms of like the pacing of the game, it plays a lot like Fall of the Foot Clan, believe it or not. Obviously it's not Fall of the Foot Clan on the Game Boy, but if you've ever played that game, the I don't, for lack of better terms, the frames per second kind of plays the same. So it's got a very good pace. Very fun. The levels are really cool. That first boss is just way too easy though. But it's a Game Boy game, right? It's like an original Game Boy game, but this is just a very cool one to have. And got an amazing deal on it. You know, this is like an $80 to $85 game on the Game Boy, and rightfully so. So I think they had it at standard price on GameStop's website was like $45 for this. So when you factor in all the discounts and promos, it was just an overall really good deal for this game. And so when it comes to like games like this, some of the games that I really want, but that I don't want to necessarily pay top dollar for, sometimes I'm just really patient. You know, being patient and just waiting for it to pop up, it's going to pop up. These games are eventually going to pop up. And if you can just kind of like delay that gratification, then you're good to go. Now there are some games that are not like, the odds of them popping up are really slim, and when they do, they're probably not going to be in collectible condition, like complete clean, things like that. So some of those games you may want to kind of bite the bullet on if you see them at a convention, or if you spot a really good deal on eBay, or if you find them at a game store, or if you can make a trade for them, a Facebook Marketplace, any one of those other avenues. But I think overall, just got some really solid titles from the website, man. It's been a really good year for me with the website and even in-store pickups. And I am going to do like a mid-year, maybe like a top 10, top 5, top 15. I don't know. You guys let me know down in the comments. Would you want to see me do like a top 10 pickups so far for this year? Would you want to see me do a top 15 pickups? And would you want me to separate the pickups? Would you want me to do like the top 5 Facebook Marketplace pickups, or top 5 GameStop in-store pickups, or maybe top 5 online pickups? You guys let me know what kind of mid-year video you would want to see when it comes to something like that. And yeah, hopefully you all have a really great rest of your weekend. If you're at the SoCal Gaming Expo, hope you're having a blast. Hope you're meeting a lot of people, making a lot of connections, finding all the games you want. And if you're not, hopefully you're just enjoying the weekend, relaxing, chilling, doing something fun. But that does it for me. It's the Y2K Collector. I'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy.